Greetings. So I enjoy watching people repair cars, so I figure as long as I'm doing a stupid mower repair business, why don't I make some videos of mower repairs? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so this is a very junky looking Husqvarna. I'm not sure it's a 46. That looks like a 48-inch deck to me. Maybe it is a 46. I'm not sure. I know they had a 46 3-blade, but I'm not 100% sure about that. This is some kind of Husqvarna thing. The guy swapped this engine into it and then announced to me that he wasn't going to finish it himself and he wanted me to finish putting it back together for him. So basically we have to put the muffler back on. I don't know why the deck hangers are unhooked. That's a bit odd. We have to hook the wiring back up. And then I guess we're just supposed to get it drivable. I don't know why there are two belts hanging down here. It does have the pulley on it. Okay, well anyway. I'm gonna just pull it over to the shop. Where we're standing here in the dirt, I'm gonna get a shop put up here. But at present, my only shop is that. So, let us begin. This thing looks to be completely worn out. How many hours? 926. Wonder what kind of engine was in it originally. 926 on the clock. I don't have more. Okay. So let's get busy. Let me open up my shop here. The shop is very crowded, so we aren't going to be working on it inside here. But at least it's a nice day. Alrighty, so I don't even really know where to start. Maybe I ought to start by seeing. That doesn't sound good. Maybe I ought to start by seeing if it's even actually bolted down tightly. And then there's a dent in the oil filter. I need to replace that. I don't know if he put oil in it or not. So I guess I'm gonna start with. Where's the oil drain on this thing? There it is, full of gunk. I'm going to start by seeing if the engine's bolted down all the way. If so, I think the next thing we're going to do is get that clutch secured. I'm going to get it up on the... No, my mower lift is in there, so that's not happening. I'm just going to get down on the ground here then. So, he gave me a bunch of parts, a bag of random hardware. What am I even supposed to do with this? We have this. I'm not sure. In this case, I don't know if I want to bolt the engine down. Make sure the engine's bolted down yet or not. Let's see, I got so much slop in it. The brakes work. I don't know if I want to bolt the engine down yet or not. Because this belt guy is supposed to go somewhere on the bottom of the engine, and I'm not sure where on this specific mower. I've never had to deal with one of these big Husqvarnas, really, apart from ripping them apart. I mean, this one is not worth fixing, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want me to, because he does. Well, I'm gonna try to figure out where this belt guide even goes, and I will let you know how that goes. I gotta try to get this clutch off, just so I can't even get the drive belt back on. This is not looking good either. These belts are very chewed up. But, oh, I don't even have a battery in my wrench. Give me one moment. I've acquired battery. Taking it off is the easy part. Getting it back on is the hard part. But either way, oh man, that bolt, those threads, don't know if you can see that, those threads are pretty bad. I'm not surprised because this engine had the pulley stuck on it, and the threads got pretty hacked up. The old pulley, when he swapped this engine, the pulley that was on it, when he pulled it off the mower, that pulley was pretty well chewed up, so it got pretty messed up getting it off the shaft because it was stuck on there, and beat up the threads for the crankshaft bolt when he took that out. Anyway, let's see if I can get this pulley back on there. Perfect. Let me try to get the belt routed around these pulleys. That seems like any other old Husqvarna, the way it's routed. Or old Craftsman, same thing. Take off the parking brakes, it tightens up the belt. Yeah. It works, I guess. So I got the drive belt up there, not sure how you can see it. Probably can't see it, can you? What next? Guess that's bracket. I gotta figure out where the bracket actually goes that holds the belt. And keeps the drive belt on and keeps this clutch in place. Noticing those wires are pretty messed up on this clutch. Still in the connector, but they're pulled out quite a bit. So, judging by the evidence from the top there, that hole there that has some paint worn off of it, and on the bottom, I don't know if I can show y'all, but there's some paint and some gunk worn off one of those holes. I have no idea if y'all were able to see that, but judging by that evidence, paint and gunk should match up with the paint missing and the gunk right there, meaning that's where this bracket goes. I'll show you once I get it on there. Alright, boys. So, I have made some progress. So I got that bolt secured. Very annoying finagling down there. Let me see. But yeah, that belt guide up there. Yeah, y'all can see that belt guide there. It's bolted on back there on the other side. Above that idler pulley. See, this is why I hate working on lawnmowers. Everything's buried in there like that. It's kind of like cars, only not as bad. I know it's not as bad. I tried to find another bolt for the crank pulley. Could not find one that was the right length, so I just stuck that one back in. Have the PTO clutch torqued down now. I checked, and at least one of the engine mounting bolts is secure. That's good enough for me. I'm not checking the other three. I'm already worn out. But now our problem is, as you can see, this PTO clutch doesn't have anything to keep it from spinning in circles. This is an old Husqvarna. I probably have a bracket for one. Let's go look. There's a bracket. Don't know if it'll work or not. Maybe it will. So, praise the Lord, at least something went right. This bracket fits. You all probably can't see it. It's right here, goes to here, and through the clutch. Let me get a flashlight so this video isn't completely me saying, alright, now I replace this part, and then I replace that, and y'all don't see anything. There you go. See that bracket? Goes down through the clutch, holds it steady so it doesn't spin in circles. Alright, so I'm already exhausted, but we have to install the muffler. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, it's rusted out, but I don't care. That's not my problem. This doesn't even look like it came. This muffler didn't even come off a Husqvarna. This is an MTD muffler. Look at it. That ain't gonna fit. Well, since it's already rusted out, and it's not gonna fit, let's go get a Husqvarna muffler. If I can find one. I guess somebody has to fix the lawnmowers, but often I wish it wasn't me. I've been running quite a business here, and lawnmowers are frustrating. That looks like, no, that's a single cylinder. Nice rusty muffler. Should work. It's got some dents in it. Probably from me hammering it off a mower. Let's see. Hope this works out. The guy apparently mows some lawns and he wants this thing finished today if we can pull it off. I gotta say, I don't think it's gonna last very long even if we do get it put back together and going. The belts look pretty short. Not to mention the steering. Okay, we gotta find a couple 1/2 inch bolts. That would be not 1/2 inch bolts. They have 1/2 inch heads, but I don't know what size the bolts are. My brain's fried today. My brain's been fried every day. They're probably like 5/16 bolts. Alrighty, boys, we have a muffler that's does not look like it's as far up as it should be, but I don't care about that. Why is that pin missing from there? Let me see, did he give me a pin, or if not, let me get one before I forget, and then return it to him and the deck falls off. I'm kidding, I do test my mowers before I give them back to people, but still. Want to make sure I do this right. Alright. Ta-da. Before I put the deck belt back on, because it's completely rotted, the upper deck belt, let's go and do the electrical. And I don't even know if this thing has oil in it. Alright, the electrical, boys. And why are all the bolts missing from the axle? That's going to be annoying to put back in. I wonder. So, what do we have? One of these is probably the headlights. And then one of them is probably the PTO clutch. I'm betting this is the PTO clutch. This is the engine. That shouldn't be a 30 amp fuse. It should be like a 20. I don't really care. Let's see. Let's begin with the starter. A 7/16 bolt. Whoa, not. Whoa. Alright, now, would be beneficial if this thing had a battery in it, wouldn't it? And what is this? That is a bit concerning. That is the rad lead coming, probably coming from the fuse. Yeah, I noticed we do not have any wire connected to there for our power. It's a problem. Using my nice new gear wrench ratcheting wrenches set that I got for my birthday. They are not a sponsor. They are my birthday present from my dad. Why is there this crushed piece of copper on there? I'm gonna put an actual whatever you call it connector on there, one of the loop connectors, and then stick it onto there. Alright, I am going to go eat. I am hungry. And then after that, I'm going to go find I think I'm going to find one of the plastic battery boxes. Is that one over there? I have a metal one on it. No. I'll get one of the black plastic battery boxes that sits right here. Since it's missing the battery box. I think this one probably had the plastic one. Maybe it had the metal one. I'm not sure. The old ones have a metal bracket across here. New ones just have a plastic thing that drops in. I like the plastic one better. Anyway, I'm going to get one of those and put the battery in, and then we'll see if this thing has oil in it, and if so, we'll finish hooking up the accessories, get the wiring done right, and yeah, and then it should run, I guess. Okay, so I had an hour to catch my breath and rest, and now I have to get back to work. Guess I have to go get something for a battery box. I don't think I have one of the metal plates, but maybe I have one of the plastic bouquets. Probably don't have one over here. Starting to think I don't have one. I don't see one here. Maybe I've never parted out a mower that had one. The battery tub, I think I have though. Got a lot of stuff that needs to go to the scrap yard back here. And the trash out. Well, let's get out of here. The mosquitoes are awful. I'm gonna have to rig something up. I have an idea. I think maybe the metal plate on these old models is the same as the one at the back that the gas tank rests on. Almost a battery. The gas tank rests on one of these oldies. Let me pull that out and see. Okay. So we're going to put a battery hold down on there. But I've gotten the battery installed with a piece of metal base, and the clutch is down, does not turn over. I need to figure out why. I had a hunch it wouldn't turn over. Of course, the fact is, I don't even know if this battery has any charge. Let's find out. Yeah, it's charged. Well. Does absolutely nothing. That's the problem. What about if you're sitting down? The fuse is blown, and it's a 30 amp. Blown 30 amp. That is not good. 30 amps bigger than it should be. I'm gonna check for continuity of ground. We should not have a ground on either side of this, but knowing we do. What about this side? Let's see. Hold on, let me get these untangled. To one side we do have continuity to ground, meaning we have a direct short circuit probably. Hold up. Yeah. Maybe not. The meter is acting weird. Okay, it's saying there's power to that side. That's good. Okay, now there ain't anything on this side, so could have been a fluke. I don't really want to burn through 20 fuses, though, so let's go and put one fuse in it. That's probably, I haven't even seen the alternator on that engine, but it should be a 15 amp Kohler alternator, meaning could put a 15 amp fuse in it and it'd be fine. I'd feel safer with a 20 in it though, personally. Are these 20? Yes. I'm gonna put a 20 in it because personally I feel like that's probably the best way to go here. It'll either blow or it won't. Could be the wiring's messed up. Could also have been a fluke when he was taking it apart. Personally, that's unlikely to me, but okay, what happens when we turn the key now? Okay. She is trying to turn over. This engine doesn't have oil in it, I think he said. So I'm not gonna. So I wonder. Sounds like the hour meter might still be functioning. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. These old hour meters are pretty durable. I'm gonna see if this is the wire for the PTO. I bet it is. Easiest way to do that. I'm gonna put my meter on the 12 volt scale. That way you guys can see it vaguely. And let me see. Shouldn't be anything right now. It ain't. Turn on the clutch and the key. And we have 130 millivolts. That's definitely enough to turn on the clutch. Not. Of course, I don't know how well the connections are. Okay, I'm not getting any valuable information from this. Yeah, that hour meter's clicking away. It is functional. I ain't sure this thing ain't missing the voltage regulator. Because, looking at this wiring, I might have to pull the shroud off and find out if there's a regulator. Because I've never seen one be under the shroud before. Alright, I need to, still need to zip tie this, wire for the, the PTO clutch wires right here. I need to zip tie it up so it can't fall down into there and get caught in the belts. Let me just plug it in right now, see if this is the right connector. And if so, after that we'll pull this shroud off this engine and verify they're hitting a voltage regulator. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Okay, we do have a voltage regulator. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know where the voltage regulator was on a current reach win. I've never really worked on these. Not much. Put a carburetor on one, but that's about it. Well, I'm not getting any clickage of the PTO clutch. So unless it only is intended to work when the engine's running, we have a problem there. This is probably, because this has got to be the headlight wire right here. I'm convinced of that. So this is our engine harness. I need to verify where each of these wires is going before I start plugging it in. They're almost certainly the same, but doesn't mean they are. I can already tell you right now on this one, this black one's going to be the ignition kill wire. The orange is going to be going to the headlights. Red is going to be battery power. Well, if that is the case, then we ain't got anything to switch to control the fuel cutoff solenoid in the carburetor, unless maybe this blue wire is that. That's possible. Let me see, without plugging this in all the way, what these will correspond with. Got this, and then this blue is going into here. Then we got a jumper there. That seems likely. Let me see, the white wire, that is kill on a Kolu usually, so that should be the ignition kill wire. The white there, I'm wondering if that's probably the alternator, as a matter of fact. Let's see if there's a blue. There's a blue hanging down here. Oh, okay, that goes to the alternator. So, we should have a whitish wire. We got a rad going into the solenoid. That's usually a rad. So, and why is it not a rad here? Oh, it is. Look right there. Okay, it was a rad. It's just faded. So we should be able to safely plug these together, and it should work fine. Hopefully we don't burn it up. Okay. See if I hear the solenoid. Solenoid's not doing anything. Of course, I don't know if this key switch is right. Looks like it is an OEM, but it doesn't look like it's in very good shape. I don't know if that's functional or not. If it's working properly, that is. I'm going to go ahead and put oil in this motor before I do anything else. I wonder if it still has any... What is that in the drain? It's hard. Is it like gunk or is it plastic jammed into the drain? Let's make sure the drain's clean and then let the oil out. Then we'll put a new oil filter on it and fill it up with fresh oil. And then I'm going to see if it'll start. Or if we need to fix anything else. I'm not really sure why this is full of plastic. That's not good. Well, or whatever that is. I don't know. Looks like plastic. Maybe it was, I don't know. Let's see if it'll drain when I pull the thing out. No. Okay, so basically the whole drain needs to be replaced, assuming. Okay, it doesn't have any oil in it. Still, I'm gonna put another one on. I got a bunch of used ones. Those aren't really very good drains anyway, but I'm not gonna swap it out for something else because that's just more work than I want to put into this thing. I have a bunch of these left over from junk stuff, so I'm just gonna yank one of these off and stick it onto there when it's intact. And it's already out of oil, so we'll just go ahead and change the filter since it's got a dent in it. Put some fresh oil in it. There we go. Alright, so let me see if this will fit, and hopefully it won't leak. Fingers crossed it won't leak. Let's see. Stick it on and twist. Alright, should be locked. We'll check it when we put like a cord in it and see if it leaks. First, let me get a oil filter. I got one of those color filters. Recently I got one. So usually I just put the Briggs filters on everything. I need to just order a bunch of bulk. Like I need to look up the cross reference to get a bunch of Wex filters or something. I could probably do that a lot cheaper than than what I'm paying for the Briggs filters. But I'm not sure. Either way though, I had this Kohler filter, so we're actually gonna put a OEM Kohler filter on it this time just because I had it. There's a rag. There's a towel. Okay. I don't know what I did with pliers I usually will grab the oil filter with, so I guess I'll have to go grab my filter wrench. Everything's really disorganized right now because I'm really busy right now trying to finish up the season and get a bunch of stuff out of here before the end of the season. And my shop's too full and I can't really organize it. And so I'm going to get a new building put up to do my work in, and then I'll finally be able to clear this place out. I'm going to redo the walls in there, insulate them and stuff. And then I'm going to turn that room into like a playroom of some kind or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. Don't matter though. At any rate, the point is, I gotta get this place organized. Now, hold on. Dang! Somebody was pretty serious about torquing down their filter. Hold up a minute. Somebody can't read. Somebody didn't see that you're supposed to tighten this 3/4 to 1 turn after the gasket contacts the base. It was torqued down so good it took all I could do with both arms just to turn it. Somebody really over tightened that. Thank goodness it was easy to get to though and not like on a car. Just wipe down the spillage here. We'll say this engine looks pretty clean. See, the guy brought the engine to me a few days ago with the drive pulley stuck on it. I already told you about this. I had to take my Polo and yank it off there for him. It's tough to get off. It was really bad, really stuck on. And anyway, he called me back and was like, I bolted the engine on, but I think I want you to install it. And I was like, well, one more thing I gotta do, but I don't really mind because it's money, right? Anyway, I'm gonna go with some 10W40 because I got some 10W40. This Walmart didn't have enough 10W30 in stock, and I didn't really feel like ordering it. And it's basically the same oil, ain't it? I don't know. I don't know, nor do I care. These engines aren't that picky. You just don't want to run anything too light. They'll run fine on straight 30 weight, as long as it's not too cold out. Which, if you're mowing grass, it's probably not going to be. Main thing is you just don't want to put like 5W30 in them unless it's actually really cold out all the time you're going to be running it. Because these just don't... Whoa, sorry. These are not intended for that. Air-cooled engines, they supposedly run very hot. So, apparently, you aren't supposed to put light oils in them. Whereas water-cooled engines have a thermostat and can regulate their temperature a lot better. Okay. That said, the water-cooled Kawasaki V-Twin that they put in John Deere mowers in the 90s is no longer lived than a regular air-cooled Kawasaki V-Twin. They both suck. They both leak oil. So, Who cares if your rings wear out? If it throws a rod before the rings ever get worn out, who cares about how hot it runs, right? Well, maybe it was running hot and maybe that's why it threw a rod. Alright, so the sensor probably takes about 2 quarts. So we probably want to put it down to like 3.5, 3.0, somewhere around that. Do not overfill, as they say. In reality, a lot more engines have been destroyed by not filling enough than by overfilling. Okay, if you overfill it, it'll end up with a bunch of carbon buildup and it'll smoke. But if you don't fill it up enough, it'll throw a connecting rod and bye-bye engine, right? So I always err on the side of too full. Not saying that's always a good idea, but usually 1/4 inch above the full mark on one of these Veach winds that holds 2 quarts, it ain't gonna do any harm. Now, it's not, can't say the same the little push mower engines. Those things, if you get it more than 1/8 of an inch above full, they will smoke like crazy and run poorly. So you gotta be very careful how much you put in those, because they only take like 1/2 quart in the first place. Too little and too much is kind of a small balance, you know what I mean? On these things, it's kind of, gotta be careful. Alright, I'm gonna put just a little more in there. Well, that's, I mean, it says, yeah, that ain't even 4 quarts yet. I mean, sorry, ain't even 2 quarts yet, so let's go a little more. And then we can run it, and if it runs good, we will. So that should be good. Let's make sure this isn't leaking. I mean, I can't tell if it is or not, really. It was leaking before. Okay, we have basically the right amount of oil in here, probably. Alright, so basically, we just need to get the fuel line hooked up. Let me take that cap back off. I'll just usually stick this so it doesn't waste, like, so it doesn't trip everything on the ground. I like to do that, and then it'll go back into the bottle. Sorry, I probably had my finger in front of the camera for like a minute and didn't realize it. I'm kind of dumb that way. I need a video camera, but if I'm not making any monetization out of these videos, I'm just gonna stick this used filter on here because I call it used. It's basically brand new. Probably outlast the mower, right? Okay. This was a brand new filter. These people with that snapper right there, they bought a brand new OEM Briggs filter. Pretty good. But it's a gravity feed carburetor, and they bought the 40 micron or whatever fuel filter that's a paper filter. It doesn't flow well. You don't want to use those on an engine with a gravity pump. You want to, with a gravity fuel system. There's no fuel pump involved. There's not enough to keep the fuel moving, so you don't want to have a restrictive filter like that. You want to use a filter that does not restrict much, like one of them little screen filters. That's the dirty old Chinese 2 sizes stupid filter. I don't like those because they're cheap. The only filters I'll put on a small engine are the Briggs paper filters and the Briggs screen filters. I like them. There are any problems with them. I mean, carburetors will plug up whether you got a good fuel filter on it or not. So basically, like the fuel filter's not, it is important, but it's not that important. I'd just be like, just go with the OEM Briggs filter and change it every couple of years. If you really care about your mower, change it annually or whatever, but I don't really think that's that important. Especially if you don't put dirt in your gas tank. A lot of people do, actually. You're like, of course there's dirt in my gas tank. Well, that's going to plug up your fuel lines. So, to the extent that you can, keep your tanks and your gas cans clean. Doesn't have to be perfect, but maybe I should say it does have to be perfect, so you'll do it, alright? Okay. Colas, you don't want to thread the cap down. Just set it on there. generally the case with cola, and it is at the add mark. But we are on a slight downhill slope here, so it should be fine to start it anyway. Not running like that, but we can start it. We'll put a little more. And I just want to make sure it runs first. So the choke is not connected, and the throttle is also, guess what, not connected. We need new brackets. It looks like that. I don't think that one's been bent. I think that's just how that came from factory. Let me get my Torx screwdriver. Hold on. I'm tired. Yeah, let me go ahead and adjust these. This video is about to get too long, so let me go ahead and attach these. Alright, so I got the throttle and the choke hooked up, so assuming that the electrical system is working right, which I would not hold my breath on, this thing should start. It's supposed to be a good running engine. He said it was. So, oh my. Okay. Well, it's probably got oil in the crankcase, in all honesty. Woo! It's probably got, I meant to say, I just said it probably has oil in the crankcase. I would hope it has oil in the crankcase. I meant to say it probably has oil in the cylinders, because you tapped it around in all sorts of positions. Still, it's spitting oil everywhere, so let me pull this away. I mean, let that burn off. Does sound good though, so we'll just let it burn that off, and then we'll see where we go from there. Let it run a few minutes, let it warm up good. So it does start and stop with the key. That's good news. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and check the oil again to verify that there's plenty in here, and then I will take it for a spin if it'll move, which I'm not too optimistic about that, but you never know. She was very low on oil, but I filled it back up. It looks like the air filter is kind of saturated with oil too, so I don't know if I have another filter for one of these, but we might need one. Starts quick, I'll give it that. So let's see if it'll move. Oh, hold on. Still smoking. I hope it don't have a blown head gasket. Probably not, but honestly, who knows? Oh dang. There we go. I just want to see if it'll move right now. Come on. Yeah? Okay. Steering feels absolutely nasty. Very, very stiff and sloppy. Will not be a fun mower to cut grass with. Give it a little gas. Yeah, it moves. It runs. It smokes like crazy. I hope that does burn off. Considering how bad the filter is saturated, I don't know what we're going to see. Jeez, I'm going to smell like oil all day from this. Put the exhaust out the back. Well, they could have, and I wish they did that, because it gets annoying smelling exhaust. No, is it running out of gas? I ain't so sure we got gas in the tank. Who knows? Good Lord. Hold the choke a little bit. Good Lord. Even if it was full of smoke in the tank, even if it was full of oil in the it had oil in the cylinders, so I thought it would have burned off by now, so a little bit concerned about this, honestly. We'll run it a little longer and see how it might clear out eventually. It's possible. A little hot going, a little surge. Could be running out of gas. I don't know how much gas is in it. Okay, it is starting to thin out. The smoke is starting to thin out. That's good. Look at that. Okay, it's good. It's not smoking. It's not anymore. Okay. process is see if I can find another jack valve. If not, that's okay, but then we'll put the jack valve on, see if it mows, and that's about it. I mean, it runs. It haunts, it surges, but it does run. I don't know if it's out of gas or almost out of gas, or if it's just dirty carburetor. Could be both. Yeah, that's a pretty bad hunt. Let's see. It's got fuel in the tank, so looks like it's just you gotta keep the choke pulled out kind of theme. I mean, fits the mower, don't it? Definitely fits the theme of the mower. Okay. Other than a really bad hunt, it runs good. Well, it'll run good, and it just sputters weird. Other than that, though, at least it stopped dumping oil everywhere. That was impressive. I'll check the oil again, make sure we're good. But I guess it's just get a jack belt on it if I can find one. If I don't have one, no, that's just residual oil burning off. If I don't have one, that's okay. Because I have a lot of oil on that air filter, but I don't have another. No, I do need to put something to hold this battery in place, or else it's going to fall over and short out somewhere along the line. So, battery holder, deck belt, if I can find one that'll fit. Look at that. And then, theoretically, it should mow. Well, that's if the PTO clutch works. I forgot about that. Forgot about the PTO. And we need to put the push bar back on as well. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so I got our sexy bull bar back on here. Not exactly sure what the purpose of that is. Guess it's so when you crash it, you won't destroy your plastic hood, which is absent. I have the hood, but it's messed up. I got the battery hold down on so it won't fall off. I put the upper deck belt back on. I look, and every single belt I had was like an 88 inch. This is like an 86 inch. The only belt I had that was the right length is a 1/2 inch belt. This is a 5/8 belt. So it's thicker, so I couldn't use it. It sucks, because this belt has some pretty bad cracking on it. The guy who owns it does do some, he can work on it though, so I expect he will just patch it up when it breaks, which he'll almost certainly have to replace that belt, because it's probably going to break. Let's see. Okay, the jack does kick in. Okay, so we're basically done, folks. I can hear that all 3 blades are about to fall off, or at least 1 or 2 of them are loose. So I'd better try to get under there and tighten up the blades, because somebody didn't tighten them up right. And then I better get a zip tie on this wiring, and then keep it out of the way, out of harm's way. And that should be it. The mower really needs a lot more work. Well, done. It needs to be scrapped. But we just do what we can do, right? So I'm gonna zip tie these wires up out of the way and tighten up those blades if I can, and then give them a call. Okay, so I did what I could to tighten up the blades. Did what I could, which is basically nothing. This is definitely a 46-inch deck. Anyway, they're loose, but it's like the bolts are stripped out or something. I mean, he hired me to fix the engine, not fix the spindles. So I think I'm just gonna call it good like that. I didn't do anything to them really. One of them bolts I couldn't get to, it wouldn't even turn. The other one that I turned just spun. It's almost like it's stripped. The hood that it had was pretty much broken. Plastic hood. He asked me, wanted me to slap this hood. I was gonna scrap it, but he said it'd be fine if I stuck this one on it. He's gonna paint it orange. He says I wouldn't bother. Things junk. I'm just Gonna stick this hood on it. These are the Geos. These are such great cars. Yeah, they're my yard toys. That one I need to rebuild the engine. This one runs. Drove it all the way back from South Carolina where I got it. I traded a lawnmower for both of those. Pretty good. Perfect. And one headlight works. Alrighty. That should be that. So. Oh! Excuse me. I suppose this lawnmower is fixed. Well, quote marks fixed. Not really, but sorta. It's falling apart. It's dying. It's old. Off camera, I did check to make sure the battery was charging. With my meter, this cam meter doesn't work. It is charging, so I know that's good. So, I guess it's good to go. I mean, yeah. The lights do kick in. That does run, so that's kind of all I can do with it. Still a bit smoky, but I'm not going to test run it much because this thing's on the verge of blowing up. I mean, the engine's not, but the deck is and stuff, so I'm not going to run it much. I don't want to have the liability for something that he's supposed to be, like, he just wanted me to finish it, and it's, he says he's going to use it the most and stuff, and he wanted me to get it done as fast as I could. So I'm not going to risk blowing anything else up on it. I'm just going to give it to him as it is, and if it does break, it's kind of his problem. I mean, it is what it is, right? Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. I mean, it runs good. I'll give the engine that. It cranks right up. I don't know what the deal with that hunting was, but engine seems to run fine, so I think we're going to just leave it at that. I'm going to write him up a quick receipt and get this out of here because I can't really do anything else with it today anyway. I think if he gets a few weeks of mowing out of it, that's good. Because apparently he does a couple yards with it. I don't know. It's pretty rough. Interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, I know it's not one. If you enjoyed it, come back because I will be making more fixing various things, not just lawnmowers. But I have a lot of my own junk too, cars and stuff. And if you didn't like it, I understand. Kind of crappy video, but oh well. Yep, that's it.